Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I got to start with this. I got to start with Winston Peters. It's actually quite a quick one, right? But it's just fucking hilarious. You know how I always say conspiracy theorists are always wrong, mostly. Because, you know, every dog has its day. Broken watches right twice a day. But they're always wrong mostly is what we've always kind of said. So I only saw this just as we were signing up, which is why I haven't done too much about it. Winston Peters has got on an absolute tirade on Twitter some stage today.
Oh, no.
And he's been saying this. Allow me to bring it up. So this is Winston Peters. Look, it's a real tirade, real long one.
Oh,
I'll read.
Jesus.
Let me just read you the first couple of paragraphs, right? Winston Peters, on Friday last week, the Court of Appeal made a significant ruling that upheld a previous High Court judgment that the New Zealand Defence Force's workplace COVID-19 vaccination mandate is unlawful. Now, the word is very important. Since then, just one online media outlet has reported this ruling, and I think that was News Talk ZB. I Googled it, and it said is unlawful, right, on the News Talk ZB one. I think that's the only one that I could find. This solitary report was also behind a paywall, so not accessible to the vast majority of the public. No other mainstream media outlet has made any mention of this ruling, which clearly identifies that people's rights and freedoms were significantly eroded by an unlawful direction from the previous government. Now,
That he supported.
I've got this nerve in the back of my neck that I like to refer to as my bullshit nerve. Now, it goes every now and again. It doesn't mean I'm right, but when it goes off, I'm like, I know the New Zealand media, and there is no conspiracy for them to not report this. There is no reason for them to not report this. Why have they not reported it, I wonder? And as you can see, some cheeky monkey here got onto Winston's feed and says, never let the truth get in the way of a good story, eh, Winston? And I'll now show you the Defence Force has actually had to put out a statement for all the misinformation out there that Winston is a part of. And you can have a look going through here. Lots of cookers are going off. Look, we covered it. No paywall. Yada, 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 yada. So this is a release from the New Zealand Defence Force. Update on recent Court of Appeal ruling. It says this. It is important to clarify what this ruling means and, more importantly, what the ruling doesn't mean in the context of the New Zealand Defence Force COVID-19 vaccination requirements in the DFOT. In some reporting, this has been confused with COVID-19 vaccine mandates, which is incorrect. There are currently no COVID-19 vaccine mandates. However, Chewy, would you like to know something ironic?
I bloody would.
There are no COVID-19 mandates, but to join the New Zealand Defence Force, you have to get vaccinated against COVID-19. It's a part of their schedule. Let me elaborate. Members of the armed forces must be ready to serve when and where they are needed and are required to meet individual readiness requirements, which includes having a number of vaccinations. These requirements have been around for decades and are not new. This requirement goes beyond health and safety and extends to members of the armed forces being ready to serve and deploy when they're needed, which is essential for a small defence force. These requirements range from fitness and weapons qualifications to dental and medical standards, and having a number of vaccinations, including the COVID-19 vaccination as specified in the NZDF vaccination schedule. The COVID-19 vaccine has been a part of the New Zealand Defence Force schedule of required vaccines for uniformed there's a Freudian slip, for uniformed personnel since mid-2021. Being fully vaccinated is a condition of service, and the Chief of Defence Force sets the conditions under which a member of the armed forces can serve. In 2022, a High Court judgment, Yardley, overturned the government mandate for New Zealand Defence members to be vaccinated, but did not preclude the Chief of Defence Force from setting internal vaccination policies, just as many other employers and workplaces have said. The High Court was aware in Yardley that vaccination was already a requirement for the armed forces and did not suggest this requirement in the context was unjustified. So, a lovely meeting point that has Winston Peters, anti-vaxxers, wrong information. And one more thing for all you anti-vaxxers who go, I'm going to join the Defence Force now because the mandates are gone. You will be required to have a COVID-19 vaccine if you're going to join. Any thoughts, Chewy? I thought it was a beautiful story.
Hey, Winston, I would like you to tell me that you know nothing about the military without saying that you don't know anything about the military. If you could do that in like way too many words on Twitter, like show your entire ass all at once, that'd be great. Oh, you've already done that? Fantastic. Yes, this is actually very similar if you're a nurse.
Yep.
They have an entire schedule of vaccinations that they have to get. NZDF have to be ready to deploy wherever. They've got a huge amount of vaccinations that they get to be active service. And the military isn't run like a democracy. It really isn't. You can't go in and go, I don't believe in it. I don't think I should have to get it. Because they'll just turn around and go, you're not a team player. You're not following a lawful order. Get the fuck out.